This is my Chunkman account. With a mere chunk in his possession and a dream in his heart, he began his quest to conquer the vast expanse of old-school RuneScape's landmass. He started his journey from humble beginnings in Lumbridge, but with an arsenal of custom tasks, he has faced and overcome countless challenges. His journey has taken him through the trials of total level grinding, epic quests, mysterious clues, and perilous encounters with fearsome bosses, all in order to unlock new chunks of land. Now halfway through the journey, the road ahead may be paved with even greater challenges, but with each obstacle overcome, he moves closer to his goal. So welcome to the second half of Chunkman DDK. Last episode we completed 2 tasks to unlock 2 chunks. The first task was to complete the Pirate Pete portion of A Recipe for Disaster, and the second was to kill the Abyssal Sire for the first time. Our map then expanded with the last smidgen of land on the southeastern part of Mostly Harmless and the Winter Mountains just above the God Wars dungeon. Today we start off just after having killed our first Abyssal Sire, which took more than an hour. With that 1 KC at Sire, we are not likely to get to the next task of 49 more kills. But what we did get is another combat achievement task, which brings us up to 59, and we need only 1 more to complete another task. So if we look at what's possible, there's probably 2 possibilities. One is Scorpia to get to 25 kill count, and the other would be to do the Little Vetian to get to 10 kill count. Not really sure what's better of the 2. Like here we only need to get 9 kills, but the kills are really slow. And at Scorpia it's 15 kills, but we don't have the best binds and it's just annoying. So I'm guessing about doing Scorpia. As we are currently already at 10 kills, we only need 15 more. And maybe we can get another one of the shards for the Wilderness Shields. Well, that didn't take long. We just arrived at the boss and we already die. That's a bit of a bummer, but let's re-gear I guess, and let's try again. Well, that was lucky. Got hit by a PKer and 2 other PKers. I thought they were going to stack on top of me. And they were a team, but apparently they were on to the other guy because he already had 2 keys. So, pretty lucky to get an escape there. Well, I guess they came back with vengeance. I'm not sure why there are so many people in the wilderness at the moment, but okay. It's a Friday morning, so yeah, really not sure why. We're at 17 kill count, let's take a little break and then let's get back to it. After running numerous circles and getting PK'd a couple of times, this is going to be kill number 25 for the Scorpia Veteran Combat task. Next to the 3 PKers we encountered, this wasn't all that great because we only have Snare, which is just too short to get rid of everything, and yeah, it's just really annoying. If it's only 10 seconds, you have to do damage and then move again. It would be much better if we get Entangle, which is in 4 levels, so that might be a bit better if we return, if we can get 79 before we go back. For the loot, from the 15 Scorpia we've killed, we didn't really get much interesting loot. And we lost like half of it, so... But for the main part, you can see it here, we have now 60 out of 485 combat tasks completed. And if we go to the boss, Scorpia is now full green 4 out of 4. As we've reached 60 combat tasks completed with that last task, that means we actually finished a combat achievement task on our spreadsheet as well. So let's complete it over there and then let's see which is going to be our newest chunk. A bit of an annoying boss to do, Scorpia, but we only needed the one combat achievement to finish our next task. 60 combat tasks completed. That's 12 combat achievement chunks unlocked and 266 in total now. And then back to our map. The last chunk we unlocked was the one just above the God Wars dungeon. And then we have unlocked 2 more chunks next to it that we can now unlock. The ice pot is necessary for desert treasure, so that might be useful. But the other one is just something we cannot traverse, so let's hope we don't get any of the 2. Then let's see what we are going to get. Let's pick a chunk. Oh! Dragon Tooth Island! That's a good one. That's actually a really good one. Dragon Tooth Island was what we were waiting for to do the Port Phasmatis quest. With unlocking Dragon Tooth Isle, we are now able to do Ghosts Ahoy. So I had a little check to see if we actually had everything or not, but it seems we do. Let's talk to Valorina to start the quest here in Port Phasmatis. Valorina tells us the story of Port Phasmatis, of the town, and why everybody here is a ghost. It went back a long time, and all of these people were here in a bustling port, trading with the eastern people. But then the vampires came, and they demanded that all people in Mauritania were subjects of theirs, so they had to give blood tithes. Necrovarus, a mysterious person from the east, then came to the city and promised them a way out from the vampires, which is why they dug a hole just north of the city here, and they struck ectoplasm and made the Ectophontus. The Ectophontus though is just one other evil, and because of it they were just obsessed with the ectoplasm, and after a while they just died because of the obsession. Some of the people want to be released from their ghost-like state, but Necrovarus is keeping them hostage and will not allow them to ascend to heaven or hell or whatever it is going to be here in the game. So Valorina wants us to help. Maybe Necrovarus can be swayed by a living person instead of a ghost. So let's just go out of the city and let's ask Necrovarus what's the deal. Necrovarus was really short with us and threatened us to actually kill us, so I guess we cannot reason with this guy. Valorina speaks of another way, a disciple of Necrovarus who escaped just before the Ectophontus was built, so she was not under control of the Ectophontus, and because she was a disciple of him, she might know of another way. As this story goes back quite a while, we asked Valorina if she was probably dead, but Valorina mentions that if she would have died, she would have felt her passing. So she should be alive. And for location, she says it is near the water and between 2 castles. So we have the Slayer Tower and Svenkenstrain's castle, and here we have a small shack. So that's where we are going next. In the shack we can find the old crone, so let's talk to her. The old crone is apparently not remembering anything, and she asked for some nettle tea because that might help her remember. So let's use our nettle tea we have in a bowl into her porcelain cup. The cup of tea is not what she wants, she apparently wants some milk into it. It's a bit much to put an entire bucket of milk into a cup of tea, but let's do it anyway. She is indeed one of the disciples that ran away from Necrovarus, and she is willing to help by enchanting our Ghostpeak amulet so we can take control of one of the ghosts, in this case Necrovarus. But she needs a couple of things to do the enchantment, so some valuables from Necrovarus himself that we will have to take. As a favor for her, we have to bring this model ship to her long-lost son, who went out to sea to become a pirate and she has never seen him since. But first of all, let's repair this little ship by adding some silk. So we have the flag again. We asked Valorina where we can find the book that the Old Crow needs, but apparently it was stolen by pirates. We can find a very damaged ship on the north side of the Mauritania continent, and we can find an old man, of which we suspect is the son of the Old Crone. The thing is, he says the model ship has different colors, so we will have to check to dye the model ship correctly. The Old Crone says the model ship was modeled after the ship he used to sail away when he was young, and I think this is going to be the boat that was that, so we need to find a way to see the flag and all of those things. Yeah, the top of the flag, the skull emblem, and the bottom of the flag. We can search the mast here. A tattered flag blowing in the wind. The skull emblem is colored yellow. So if we use a yellow dye on it, we want to have the skull emblem. There we go. That's one of the three. The top half of the flag is orange, so that's why we have yellow and red. So we color the top half. And the bottom half of the flag is red, so another red dye for the bottom half, and that should be the correct ship now. With returning the toy boat, we have gotten a chest key. It's probably for this closed chest. Yes, let's open it. And you can find a piece of a map. We're looking for the rest of the map, which will lead us to treasure, so let's see. Okay, giant lobster. That's 2 pieces. And then a bit further on from the ship, we can find this closed chest for the last piece, so let's use them on each other, and we have a treasure map. And the treasure map pretty much looks like the Dragon Tooth Island map. So that's why we needed this chunk. At the port we can find this ghost captain, which will take us to the Dragon Tooth Island. But first of all we need to unlock it, of course. So let's do that. There we go. And then if we talk to him, we can charm him to only give 10 ecto tokens for the entire trip instead of the 25 he is asking for. But we have ecto tokens enough anyway, so might as well buy the 500 for the unlimited trips. And there we go, onto the island we just unlocked. And then let's just follow the instructions on the treasure map until we reach the space we need to dig. And there we have the book that the Old Crow needs for the Ghostpeak amulet. This book is a part of what Necrovarus used for the Ectophontus. With the book in our possession, Valorina mentions that we can get some kind of translation from traders from the east, and the only person from the east we can see is Akharanu here, so let's talk to him. Akharanu doesn't want any money for the translation, but he does want a signed oak longbow by Robin the Master Archer. He resides here in the inn, so let's talk to him. He apparently doesn't sign anything, but he does want to gamble with us. So we'll play some games of Rune Draw until we beat him hard enough, so he has no other choice than to sign the oak longbow. There we go, that's a signed oak longbow. So let's get that translation book. The last thing we need is the robes of Necrovarus, but Necrovarus is dead And just above the Ectophantus we can find his coffin, but this disciple here doesn't want to let us in, so we'll have to find another way to get the robes. There is a protester here, so maybe we can make a riot or something, so we can sneak into the room with the coffin. He gives us a petition. If we can get 10 people to sign it, then we'll have a mob or something, I'm not sure. But nobody seems to want to sign the petition because we are immortal. So we'll have to disguise us as a ghost. We'll need some disguise for this, and some sheets should be good, so let's ask the innkeeper. Let's use a bucket of slime to make it seem a little bit more like the ghosts, and then let's wear it and ask for the signatures. There we go, that's the 10 signatures needed. Let's go back to Grovingus, and then let's show the will of the people to Necrovarus. The will of the people is not something he wants, so he just burned the petition, but he did drop a bone key while he was in a fit of rage. That bone key is perfect because that's the key to the door to his coffin. And let's do some grave digging for his robes. Now we have everything to enchant our ghost speak amulet, so let's go back to the old crone. One ritual later and we have the ghost speak amulet, which is now a little bit different. So let's go and command Necrovarus to release the villagers that want to pass on. With one command, let any ghost who so wishes pass on into the next world. He seems to be obeying, so that's really good. With just that sentence that he said, it seems the curse has been lifted. So let's go back to Velorina and tell her the good news. And that's the end of the quest. We get 2 quest points, 2400 prayer experience, the Ectophial, which will be a very useful teleport to get here each time we need to get here, and free Port Phasmatis entry, so we don't need to pay Ecto tokens each time we want to get into the city. With the completion of that quest, we now need to complete it on our spreadsheet as well. And then let's pick another chunk. Some nice quality of life improvements for getting to the Port Phasmatis. We have completed Ghosts Ahoy. That was our 83rd quest, which means we are now halfway for all of the quests. And we are now also at 267 landmass chunks unlocked in total. And then back to our map. The last chunk we unlocked was the Dragontooth Island, which means we also do not have any adjacent chunks anymore. And that means we only have 76 selected chunks for our newest chunk. So let's see if we can get a back-to-back. We're still looking for pretty much everything here in the Kandrin region and the Barrows chunk, of course. But let's see, what are we going to get? Pick a chunk. Oh boy. Yeah, more of Fossil Islands. We're pretty much halfway now, I guess, to unlocking the entire island, but yeah. We cannot get to Fossil Island because we need the woodcutting guild here in Zeya, which is very far off, so I guess we will not have the back-to-back. That's going to be all for this episode. The chunk picker is drip feeding us one quest at a time, but it's only a matter of time before we hit the motherload and we will be able to do a bunch in a row. Until that happens, we keep killing more bosses, gathering more clues and leveling more stats. Next time we continue with unlocking chunks, so have a good one and see you next time.